Hey guys, good evening and Merry Christmas to you. Hopefully things are winding down a little bit and you get to enjoy some time with your families around the holiday. I had a few minutes this evening and thought I would do a quick video on a rifle I cut my teeth on when I was probably a junior, senior in high school. One of the nice things about this rifle is at the time it was very, very inexpensive to shoot, and that was because there was a lot of military surplus ammunition on the market. This is a Finnish Moisin Nagant. It fires a 7.62 by 54R. The R stands for rimmed. And a lot of folks are familiar with the Russian variant, which is actually the original design. This is truly a variant. During the Winter War between the Russians and the Finns would pick these up off of the battlefield, and then they would send them back to their factories and remanufacture them. The two major plants were Seiko and VKT, and I've shot both. This is a VKT. In my experience, the Seiko are a more accurate firearm, but I think you're gonna find variation there, but my experience with the Seiko has been better. The nominal bore diameter of these is typically 308 versus 311 for the Russian variant, but they will both handle the military surplus spam can, if you're familiar with the green military surplus cans. And that ammo is drying up for the most part, but a lot of people still have it out there. And I had a case of it. It's 440 rounds, and it's old stuff. A lot of it's military surplus from World War II. And in my experience with that particular batch, is I was getting a lot of hang fires or misfires. And in addition to that, it's mercuric priming, it's corrosive, and cleaning that stuff out of the bore, it becomes cumbersome and you can damage your bore if you don't do it right. The military surplus cleaner that I use, it's got cancer warnings all over it. I don't really like using this stuff. And so rather than continue to shoot that military surplus stuff in its current state, one of the things that I'm looking at doing is swapping out the powder and the bullets into boxer primed brass reloadable cases. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm doing there. So here is our factory military surplus steel case, Berdan primed, non-reloadable military surplus ammunition. What I have over here is some once fired, resized brass case, boxer primed, so it's reloadable cases. So I resized these already, reprimed them, so everything's prepped there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull this bullet out, and I'm going to take the powder and the bullet and I'm going to load it into this other case. This is an inertial bullet puller for those who aren't familiar with it. Basically, it's a hammer, and you put the case right into this collet. I'll put it in there. I'm going to tighten it up, and you're going to swing this pretty darn hard. It's loud, and it's a little bit scary when you first do it. But what's happening is the mass of the bullet, it wants to keep going. It's just basic physics. And so with a bullet that weighs, I think this one weighs about 147 grains nominally. I weighed a few of them. It's going to want to keep going. It's going to come out of the case. For your lighter bullets, so let's say in a 5.56 NATO or 223 that might weigh 55 grains, it's really hard to use an inertial puller to pull those. And so I recommend to folks, if you have to pull a lightweight bullet, to go ahead and use something like a RCBS bullet puller, where it uses a collet to clamp down on the bullet and you use your press to pull the case away from it. These kinetic pullers are better for a heavier bullet. So let's go ahead and give it the first whack, and I'll show you how it starts to pull it out. Well, that one pulled it all the way out. So one good whack, it came out. Most of these have been coming out in 2 strikes. So I'm going to go ahead and dump the bullet and powder into that little cup, and you can see it in there. So the bullet's in there, and it's actually an extruded powder. And I'm not gonna meter or weigh it. I've weighed several of these already, just to kind of get an idea of how consistent they are. Here's my primed prepped case. Here's my powder funnel. I'm just gonna pour it in slowly. If you pour it in too quickly with this extruded powder, especially the longer cut extruded powders, they tend to clog. So if you pour it slowly, you don't have that problem. So I'm going to go over this press. I've already got it set up to seat at the desired depth. Set the bullet on top and feed it up in there. And voila. We now have a case that is or a primer rather, that's non-corrosive in a reloadable case. And it's low cost and reliable. Plus, cleaning's a whole lot easier and a lot less chemicals involved. So if you have this same problem with these Spam cans for really very, very little money, I think I got this press off eBay for probably $25. In these things, I don't know what they run now, but they're not much more than that. Doesn't take a whole lot of money to be able to at least do this simple type of reloading. But anyway, everybody have a great Christmas and wonderful holiday season. Hope you enjoy. Take care.